Here in America, we love our Toyotas. You see Corollas and RAV4s everywhere. But what if I told you that we're actually not getting the best that Toyota has to offer? Today, we'll be looking at 10 amazing cars that Toyota has been holding back from the US market. And trust me, you might consider moving abroad for the chance to own one of these cars. Let's get started. Number 1. Toyota Sienta. Let's say you're navigating rush hour traffic. You need something that's easy to park, sips fuel like a hummingbird, and still fits the kids, the dog, and that Costco haul you swore would only be a few things. Enter the Toyota Sienta. It's a small, funky-looking MPV with sliding doors, hybrid efficiency, and a cabin layout that just makes sense. This thing is tailor-made for city families, Uber drivers, or literally anyone sick of fighting with giant SUV doors in tight parking lots. And here's the kicker. It exists, it works, it's popular overseas, and Toyota's like, nah, America doesn't want that. Really? We'll line up for a gas-guzzling Suburban, but can't get a hybrid minivan that actually fits in a Target parking space? Number 2. Toyota Wish. Now let's talk about the Toyota Wish, a car that looks like the love child of a sporty hatchback and a practical family hauler. It's a compact, 3-row wagon that lets you carry 6 people without feeling like you're captaining a cruise ship. It's nimble, it's efficient, and it has that understated Toyota reliability that means it'll still be running when your grandkids are learning to drive. In the US, something like this could have gone head-to-head with crossovers like the Honda CR-V or Mazda CX-50, and it probably would have smoked them in fuel economy. But no, we killed off wagons years ago, and now Toyota just assumes Americans can't handle anything that doesn't sit 3 feet off the ground. Thanks for nothing, market trends. Number 3. Toyota Noah, Voxy, Esquire. Here's what I like to call the minivan Avengers, the Toyota Noah, Voxy, and Esquire. These 3 are basically the same platform with different personalities. The Noah is family-friendly, the Voxy's got a bit more flair, and the Esquire is basically a Lexus wearing a Toyota badge. All of them have boxy shapes that maximize space, sliding doors for easy access, and interiors designed for comfort on long hauls. These could have been the dream cars for big families, soccer teams, airport shuttle services, or literally anyone tired of paying $70K for a tricked-out Sienna. But nope, Toyota keeps them in Japan and a few other markets, leaving us here to choose between minivan that looks like every other minivan and SUV pretending to be a minivan. Utes and pickups. Most Americans think we've got the best pickup trucks because we've got Ram 1500 and the Ford F-150. But there are a few Toyota trucks that outmuscle and outclass anything available in US dealerships. One of such trucks is number 4, the Hilux. This is the truck that refuses to die. The Toyota Hilux has a reputation worldwide for being able to survive absolutely anything from African desert abuse to Arctic snow. From overloading in rural Thailand to surviving Top Gear's "Let's see if we can kill it" episode. It's the global benchmark for toughness, sold everywhere from Australia to South America. But in the US? Nope, we've been Hilux free since the mid-90s. Toyota instead gives us the Tacoma, which is great, but the Hilux is built on a slightly different frame with simpler, more repairable parts. And here's the big one. It can be had with a diesel engine that delivers monstrous low-end torque and crazy good fuel economy. In a lot of countries, these trucks rack up 50,000 miles without a major rebuild. The US market missed out largely because of regulations and business strategy. Toyota decided it wasn't worth re-engineering the Hilux to meet American crash and emission standards when the Tacoma already sells like hotcakes. Plus, the chicken tax, a decades-old import tariff on foreign-made trucks, makes bringing them here expensive. The irony? Plenty of Hilux trucks do make it to the US, but only as gray imports or older models grandfathered in under the 25-year rule. And every single one seems to have a story, usually involving a previous life in a war zone or as a rescue vehicle somewhere remote. Number 5. Toyota Land Cruiser Pickup. Now this one's just plain cruel. We get the Toyota Highlander, a perfectly fine family SUV, while places like Australia get a heavy-duty Land Cruiser pickup that looks like it could tow a mountain and then drive over it. It's not some cushy, leather-wrapped suburban cruiser either. This is a truck built for people who actually work their vehicles to death. cattle ranchers in the outback, mining crews in the desert, aid workers hauling supplies through war zones. Underneath, it's pure Toyota toughness. Massive frame, diesel power, and the kind of suspension that makes potholes feel like speed bumps. So why don't we get it? The answer is all about business, not ability. In the US, Toyota already sells the Tacoma and the Tundra, and the Land Cruiser pickup would land right in the awkward middle, stealing sales from both. Bringing it here would mean spending millions to pass American emissions and safety rules. Money Toyota doesn't want to throw at what they see as a niche market. So Americans get another crossover SUV, and the rest of the world gets a bulletproof workhorse. Seems fair, right? Cool hybrids and EVs. Another group of Toyotas we barely get the best of in the US are hybrids and EVs. Now I know you might say we get a lot of hybrids from Toyota. Yeah, that's kinda true, but wait till you see these cars I'm about to talk about. They're a lot cooler than anything Toyota has to offer in the US. Number 6. Toyota Aqua, Prius C. Remember the Prius C? That pint-sized hybrid that looked like it was made for people who just wanted the fuel economy of a Prius without the price tag? Or the "I just bought a spaceship" vibe? It was one of those cars that quietly went about its business. No drama, no flexing, no sipping fuel like it was trying to win a contest. In the US, we called it the Prius C. In Japan, it's the Toyota Aqua. And over there, it's still alive and kicking. The Aqua fits perfectly into Japan's streets, narrow lanes, packed cities, and a population that actually appreciates a small, efficient car that can weave through traffic and squeeze into spots Americans would never even attempt. It's basically the perfect city car, cheap to run, reliable enough to outlast a refrigerator, and light on the environment. So why did Toyota pull it from the US? Simple, we didn't buy enough of them. Americans want bigger hybrids now, the kind that can haul kids, a week's worth of groceries, and maybe even a kayak. Toyota decided to put their hybrid money into more profitable models, like the RAV4 Hybrid and Highlander Hybrid, instead of trying to convince the US market to fall in love with a small hatchback. Still, for anyone who's driven an Aqua in Tokyo traffic, you know exactly why Japan kept it. It's a little workhorse with a great heart. Number 7. JDM-Only BZ4X variants. Kai EVs. If you think Toyota's EV lineup in the US is all there is, think again. Over in Japan, there's an entire buffet of electric options we'll never get to taste, including quirky little Kai EVs and special JDM-only flavors of the BZ4X. And no, this isn't just a trim difference. We're talking about entirely different approaches to electric driving made for a completely different kind of road life. K cars are the tiny, boxy little wonders on Japanese streets. They're small enough to fit down alleys you'd swear were sidewalks, cheap enough for almost anyone to afford, and so efficient that gas stations probably forget they exist. Now imagine that formula in electric form. Quiet, zero emissions, and even easier to zip around the city. These things are perfect for daily errands, short commutes, or just living in a place where space is at a premium. And then there's the Japanese market BZ4X variants. While we get a more standardized, global-friendly version, Japan gets tweaks and trims that feel more custom-fit to their lifestyle. Things like unique interior layouts, extra efficiency options, and in some cases, tech packages that Toyota doesn't even bother offering here. Why don't we get them? 2 reasons. 1, K cars don't meet US safety and emission standards. And 2, Toyota's EV strategy for America is built around what they think we want. Bigger crossovers, more range, and road trip readiness. That means the small, ultra-efficient EVs stay overseas. Still, it's hard not to feel a little jealous when you see a K EV sliding effortlessly through Tokyo traffic like it's playing its own game of Tetris. Luxury and oddball gems. The next group of cars I want to talk about is Toyota's luxury cars. And no, I'm not talking about their Lexus division. I'm talking about Toyota's iconic luxury cars that rival even Rolls-Royce. But before we do that, let's look at one of Toyota's oddballs, something you don't see every day. Number 8. Toyota GR Yaris. Now, I know this isn't a hybrid or an EV, but it's too cool to ignore. And it's another one that proves Toyota's overseas lineup is like a secret menu we're not allowed to order from. The GR Yaris is basically a rally car for the street. Wide stance, turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, all-wheel drive, and a chassis built so well it makes driving a joy, even if your daily commute is just stoplights and potholes. In Europe and Japan, it's been praised as one of the most fun cars in decades. And what did we get instead? The Corolla Cross. I'll just let that comparison hang in the air for a second. Why can't we buy it? Because it's a homologation special built in small numbers to meet rally racing requirements. Certifying it for US roads would be expensive for Toyota. Plus, they probably figure the US hot hatch market is too small to justify the cost. But here's the thing. This is the kind of car that builds brand love. The GR Yaris would get enthusiasts foaming at the mouth, and even people who don't buy one would start thinking of Toyota as exciting again. Instead, we get another crossover to blend into the Walmart parking lot. Number 9. Toyota 4Tuner. If you've ever dreamed of a vehicle that blends pickup truck toughness with SUV comfort, the 4Tuner is basically Toyota's global flex. It's built on the legendary Hilux chassis, the same truck people in the Outback, the Sahara, and rural Asia use to conquer dirt roads that look more like disaster zones. But instead of giving you a bare-bones work truck, Toyota wrapped it in a stylish family-sized body with 3 rows, leather seats, and enough tech to feel modern without going full spaceship. Off-road? It's no joke. We're talking locking diffs, serious ground clearance, and a suspension setup that can handle washboard roads and river crossings without rattling your teeth out. Yet, on pavement, it cruises quietly enough for a road trip with the kids. Or, let's be honest, the dogs, while sipping fuel at a pace that makes gas-guzzling US SUVs look embarrassed. So why can't we get it here? Well, Toyota's not about to let it steal sales from the 4Runner or Tacoma. They're 2 golden geese in the American market. Plus, thanks to the infamous 25% chicken tax on imported trucks and the costly process of meeting US safety standard and emission standards, bringing one over would make it way too pricey. That means if you want a 4Tuner, you'll have to move overseas, or start making very good friends with someone in Australia who owes you a massive favor. Number 10. Toyota Century. If the 4Tuner is Toyota's wild side, the Century is the brand at its most regal. Think Rolls-Royce, but Japanese. For over half a century, the Century has been the ride of choice for prime ministers, business tycoons, and the Japanese imperial family. And the current model? It's a 5.2-meter-long slab of luxury that looks like it stepped out of a Yakuza boss's daydream. Under that understated, almost boxy body is a 5.0-liter V8 paired with a hybrid system. The focus isn't on speed, though it can move when it needs to, but on absolute smoothness. Toyota even redesigned the rear suspension so passengers wouldn't feel a hint of road vibration. The doors close with a hush, the leather is hand-stitched, and the wool headliner is there because, apparently, nothing feels warmer and more upscale to the Japanese elite than high-grade wool. Here's the kicker. You can't just waltz into a dealership and drive one away. In Japan, owning a Century is about status, tradition, and respect. Toyota even offers an optional chauffeur training program so your driver knows how to open the door at the perfect angle and park with ceremonial precision. So why don't we get it? Simple. Toyota knows the US luxury market is dominated by brands like Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus. And importing a $180K ultra-formal sedan with no brand recognition outside Japan just wouldn't make financial sense. But if you've ever seen one glide silently down the streets of Tokyo, you understand why it's a forbidden fruit for car nerds here. So what's the tally? We're denied mini MPVs, warrior trucks, quirky EVs, and even Toyota's version of a royal limo. Instead, US drivers are stuck with oversized SUVs and sleepy sedans. Toyota, come on, give us some glorious options. But hey, if you really want any of these cars, you can import them. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.